immediately. A fresh start for everyone. For those rosters who were towards the bottom, Dave covered them at the start of the show. We're on the lookout for them to step it up without a doubt. Now, for your 5 teams who have been highly consistent on Rondo, there they are. Alpha 7, Influence, Rage, Loops, Intense Gain, and Wolves. Let's see how today's going to end up unfolding. I am a huge fan of Rondo because of the respawn mechanic, the revivability. We've seen teams really, try and get their feet underneath them, try and adjust to it. Hasn't worked all too well for some, but for others, it's been phenomenal. I mean, when we're talking Alpha 7 averaging 13 eliminations, scary stuff for sure. And 7, we have noticed teams really try and pinpoint Alpha 7 and challenge them. It just hasn't worked. What do we do about that?
You got to go back and look at what Wolves was able to do in day 2, what Wolves was able to do in day 3, because that's one team that was actually able to take the fight to Alpha 7 and not just give them any space. At times, especially in day 3, it did backfire a little bit. One mistake that Wolves was doing, especially Coops, if we narrow it down, he kept overextending, and I'm hoping that that's going to be changing in today. New week, 0 points, and we're getting some action right off the bat, and that's completely fine because, as you guys mentioned, we do have those recall towers. This is the time to do it.
Shots already ringing out. It's Alpha 7. It's United 4 Gaming, who have not been shy about fighting off the rip. This time looks to be paying off. This was a team that was towards the bottom, Dave, that looks as if they're coming out the gate swinging.
Yeah, already getting 2 eliminations onto Alpha 7, but those recall towers, they can call them back as long as they don't go out here. Looks like United 4 Gaming, though, are on the hunt. And over here on the other side, VIP and Jaguars are going to be clashing. So we got 2 separate hot drops occurring right now. United 4 Gaming, oh no, the BM right there, making sure his his opponent watches the revives come out. So it does look like Mafioso, the last one to survive with the jammer backpack, is going to be trying to run to that recall tower, got his squad mates back. So my question is for you guys, once when you get your teammates back, do you drop right where you died and take the fight round 2? I think Alpha 7, listen, you said no, but Alpha 7's saying yes.
Well, okay, let me take it back. I say no, it's highly situational. I think the way Inko did it on Friday was wrong. Like, you're out in the open field, you all 3 try to land on your loot where Alpha 7 is literally at, they're going to gun you down. Like, that's just plain and simple.
Yep.
I think in this case, though, because it's still early goings, you're not getting third party. There's an opportunity for Alpha 7 to land in the vicinity, not necessarily on their old loot or where they just died, but land a little bit on the outskirts so they can recoup, get a weapon, and then come back into the fold and support their solo players. So I think that's what Alpha 7 is more so going to, but I don't think you can, I don't think it's vibe, I don't know, 7, to hot drop back on your loot and then try and challenge the team that just took you out, especially if they're close by. I think that's a bad play.
Yeah, 100%. I think with what Alpha 7's doing right now, that's fine because there's just so many buildings, there's so much cover that they're going to have to, for example, United 4 Gaming is going to have to push towards them, that they're going to be able to spot it right away. As you mentioned, though, if it's out in the open, if there's really just one compound, if there's not that many buildings surrounding you, why are you even trying to go there? There's a reason why you die there. Just try to back off, maybe regroup, think of a different strategy, and then end up going for it. One of the squads earlier that we were talking about wanting to see a little bit more out of, this has to be one for me, boys. Intense game. This team was able to win when we were talking about Spring Break. Oh, as X-Force getting on the board, they're trying to get some shots off. 24K is going to be able to pick up Klaus right here. But going back to Intense game, they just really haven't been able to show me the magic that I saw out of them when it came down to finals. Even in PMWC 2025, they really weren't able to put up that good of a performance either. I'm hoping this team starts being a little bit more aggressive and showing the likes of what we saw in day 1 when they ended up putting 19 eliminations. I want to see if they can back that up, not just in one day. Try to do it here in phase 2 as well.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. And like we keep talking about, Rondo is the map to really kickstart that aggression here because you do have that second chance mechanic as long as everybody doesn't go out. But VIP, Batman, the bait and trap right there. That is wild. Batman looking for the recall on his squad mate, and little did he know somebody was just zoomed in, camping it. Prince with the UMP trying to get the revenge play right here. Hopefully Prince doesn't get taken out by the SK-12. Here we go. Taken out the snakes mowing down the grass, but here comes Cardi with the follow-up here, fellas.
Yeah,
This is something we didn't see last week either. Some of the teams just decided to camp the recall tower. This team's reflections, they're starting to adjust, and right now is working out wonders for Resilience.
Yeah, there was a conversation, right, when Rondo was added into the rotation. Do teams start to camp these respawn stations? And obviously, yes, they're going to. For Resilience, big wins for them. They sniff out VIP, going for the respawn. VIP, mind you, was one of our early teams in a fight against Jaguars. I believe it was Jaguar who ended up taking that win. VIP then had to recover, and once again was tried to, or put into a situation where they had to recover once again. And unfortunately for them, the respawn beacon that they go to happened to just be where Resilience was camping. And now VIP are out. Again, teams are adjusting to the obviously Rondo, to the idea of respawns, and some teams are going to struggle with it for sure. But good on Resilience to figure that out and put them up in a good spot. They were another team that was way towards the bottom throughout Phase 1, but a team that is looking to take Phase 2 in their own hands.
All you can do, right? All you can do, really try to just wash the memory of week number 1 and come into week number 2 with a new mindset, new game plan. And you kind of know, like, some of these recall towers, there's bound to be at least one person using them, right? So being in a position to kind of camp it out, definitely a heads up play. It does use up a lot of resources and time, but you never know. You might be able to walk away with a point here or there. Doran onto the Jaguars, going to be making that flush. It's going to be a Jaguar out there in the distance as well. Coops out there on the outskirts in a vehicle trying to get the alternate angle. Coops on Friday night, my dude was ultra aggressive, 7. So I'm curious if Coops is going to kind of pull it back a little bit here on day number 1 of Phase 2, just at least until they're a little more comfortable on the overall leaderboards.
Yeah, I'm hoping he will be able to just pull it back a bit. I think he was just getting too over-eager, too aggressive, overextending at times, and the timing was off at times too. As you see, Alpha 7 Mafioso now ends up going down there to United for Gaming. Things are currently going in Alpha 7's favor, but they should be able to pick him up because that was one of the players that still has a respawn, I believe. Meanwhile, you were talking about Coops. We were talking earlier about Wolves, how I want them to be able to be more aggressive here in Rondo. They're wanting to do that at the moment, seeing if they can maybe spot one of the players there from Jaguar. But
Hello, mic testing 1 2 3. It's here, Call Up Panic, back with another चल रही है माइक. अब जाएंगे पैरेलल.